All right, so today will be physical class at the Sudama Seremban together with some of the online students. We will read the text here. So later, if you all got question, can ask. Okay, so the student at the Sudama will read. Okay, now this sutta is from the Udana. Udana, we call it inspired utterance of the Buddha. Now, where can you find this sutta? It's in the Kutaka Nikaya. Now, we have how many texts we call it Nikaya? All right. You have the normal text will be the Vinaya. It's a little bit small here. So you have the Dika Nikaya, long length, middle length, connected discourse, Uttara, and Kutaka. Now, this Kutaka means inside the Kutaka, there is this Udana, all right? You can find this Udana. The other will be Dhammapada, Udana, and so on. All right, so this Udana, we call it the inspired utterance of the Buddha. So it's from this 6.4, first utterance about various sectarians. It's under this chapter called Jacha Anda Waga, from the word Jati Anda. Jati Anda means Jati is birth, Anda is brine, brine from birth, Waga, brine, brine, okay? And Vaga means the section here. So this is a translate by the Ananda Jyoti Bhikkhu. All right? So birth, Jati is birth. Okay, thus if I heard, at one time the gracious one, now Bhagawa is translated different way. Here Bhagawa is translated as a gracious one, was dwelling at Shawati, at the Jeta's wood, Jetawana. All right. So at Anatta Pindika's monastery, then at that time, many and various sectarians, ascetics, brahmanas, and wanderers were living at Shawati, having various views, various likings, various tendencies, subject to dependence on various views such as. Okay, this is just a background story. Normally in the sutta, there will be a background here. So in this background, we know that the Buddha was at his monastery, and there are many people of various different views. So we call it ascetic brahmana and so on. Now, according to the commentary, uh, if they are born as a brahmana from birth, we call it brahmana. But after, if they gone forth, even though they are brahmana, they are called as samana. Okay, after they gone forth. Right. So now, Pali say view, dikti. Nana is various. Kanti is a kantika, liking. Tendency is ruchika. Ruchika means, the Pali ruchika means how they approve. Approve means tendency, means I like this. That's a Pali word, ruchika. All right. And Jnana Dikti, various view, Nisaya, dependent, Nisita. So this means that they cling to different view, right? That's a party, cling to different. Now, what is the view here? So there were some ascetic brahmanas who were of this argument, this view. This word is eternal. This alone is a truth. All else is foolish. So this is called sasato loko. Okay, so one of the Pali word. Right. So the word loka, sasata, eternal. Okay, now the second view is, but there were some ascetic and brahmana who were of this argument. This world is not eternal. This alone is a truth. All else is foolish. Then the third one is the world is finite. Now, finite means anta. Anta means has ending, right? Wa means process of ending. So it believes that the world is fixed or has ending. So infinite means from this word antawa and the negative. Okay, so anantawa. So it's finite. Now, from this view, we can see that first they are clinging to this view. Because when they cling to this view, number one, the world is eternal. This alone is a truth. That means that they don't accept other view. my view is correct. So that's why the Pali word is called nisita. Nisita means they cling to this view, rely on this view. And that will make argument, right? Because if my view is right, your view all wrong. I rejected you totally. All right. Now another view is different. So they have four views here. And now the thing is about this world. Is this world is eternal or external? We don't know, no? So let's say if we take this as an external world, then then their view is like that. We cannot see how far is the external world, right? Because unless they have psychic power, then their view might be true. But if they have no psychic power, they just doing the argument. Now, if we are talking about internal world, it's possible. Because the word loka also can refer to internal world. Internal world means our mind and body. Now, if we see like this, we can link with the Four Noble Truths, right? Because Four Noble Truths, second Noble Truth, we have Kamatana, Bhavatana, Vibhavatana, right? Clinging to sensual desire, Bhava, coming or not coming. Now, Bhavatana is craving with this Sasatavada. Now, this Sasatavada, we see the above already. This Sasata. The world is eternal. So what is this Sasatavada? All right. So Sasatavada means the view of this I or self or soul is live forever, right? Or this means that even I pass away, next life I will continue another form, but it's still the same I, same self, same soul. It's possible. Now another one is Ucheda Ditti, annihilation belief. Is belief that this I or self will terminate, will cease at death. Okay. So if we take this, is much more logic when we link with Four Noble Truth. But if we going to argue on eternal world, then forever it will be argument because they are doing this, they are not proving at all. Sometimes when we look at during the Buddha teaching, they have a lot of people with different views, but they just stay with the argument. No, they cannot prove if their idea is right. And not all really got psychic power. They just having certain view. So there's a problem here. So different view, eternal, not eternal, finite, infinite. All right. So and the worst thing is they cling it. My view is correct. Others are foolish. All right. Okay. Now, I was looking at this. Now, why is it somebody say the world is infinite? In what way? Now, if they have some psychic power or based on their meditation. So the frame of mind which form this belief came from the object of focus of meditation taken by ascetic who managed to reach a deep level of meditation. So means jhana, all right, or very deep meditation, and came to the conclusion that the world is definite, infinite, if they use infinity as the object of meditation, or limited if they imagine the object of their focus to be limited. So if they are based on their own meditation, it might be possible. So the people who use logic and thought and concluded that the world must be neither infinite nor limited. So it's that means that it's basing on their experience, meditation experience, or based on their logic. Okay, so we can see this, but no more. There's still some more argument. All right. Okay, now. Okay, now.
That which is so, that is also the body. This alone is the truth, all else is foolish. But there were some ascetics and brahmanas who were of this argument, this view. The soul is one thing, the body is another thing. This alone is the truth, all else is foolish. There were some ascetics and brahmanas who were of this argument, this view. The individual exists after death. This alone is the truth, all else is foolish. But There were some ascetics and brahmanas who were of this argument. This view, the individual does not exist after death, this alone is the truth. All else is foolish. There were some ascetics and brahmanas who were of this argument, this view. The individual exists and does not exist after death. This alone is the truth. All else is foolish. But there were some ascetics and brahmanas who were of this argument, this view. The individual neither exists nor does not exist after death. This alone is the truth. All else is foolish.
Okay. Okay, so now there are different views here. Now, what they say, they believe jiva, right? Jiva. It actually is also one of Malay word, jiva, right? Jiva, soul. Soul, or it's believed that, of course, we can see the body. Body is one thing. This soul, physical, mental things cannot see. So these are death. They say different things, right? So they believe these two are different things. This alone is truth, others thing. Okay, so they believe that this one and this one, soul and body, same. Now the next one, soul and body are not same. Okay, so anya jivi, anya jivam, anya sarilam, so different. Now from the Pali word salila, that's why we have the salits. Right, it's coming from this word salila. Salila is something to do with the is here is actually body. Okay, now, there are some like here, but here is different translation because the Pali is the Hoti Tathagato Paramarana. So after that, they are Tathagata. Now, we know Tathagata means Buddha, but the translator, he translates individual. It might be possible also, if we are talking about it's a state of being. So maybe he, instead of, if we want to translate, maybe the Buddha exists after that, if we are using a Tathagata. So maybe he want to make it more general, cover everybody. That's why he used the word individual, right? So either pass away, it exists, or does not exist, or exists and does not exist. This is even more confused, this kind of thing. It's like, it exists and does not exist. Then the next one even more confused. Neither exists nor non-exist. It's like double, never hoti, not hoti. So okay, so that's why when we learn the Pali, it's interesting to see the word hoti chan not hoti. We know exist not exist, and then one never hoti not hoti. In Pali, sometimes it's really have a lot of this kind of double negative. It's kind of like the linguistic they do it. They like a lot of double negative one. All right. Now, so what we see is different view. Is the soul same with the body? Or are they same or not same? Okay, up to now, people also ask the same question. Soul is something that we cannot see. So is the soul and the body same? Because at that time they have, before the Buddha enlightened, of course, everybody have the idea of soul. The Hinduism and Buddhism is different in a way that Buddhism believe the karma, but we don't cling to the idea of soul. Hinduism, they also have the idea of karma, but they believe the idea of soul. Okay, so that's a difference. So which one do really exist? Right? So then these are different opinions exist after that, or now when sometimes when when Buddha will ask this kind of question, Buddha will not answer. In some of the sutta, when people asking the same question, because when the Buddha say yes, it exists, that means that the Buddha say soul exists. When Buddha say soul does not exist, Buddha, that means that the Buddha accept the idea of soul. So when people ask this kind of question, normally Buddha will not answer. He will just ask something based on Dhamma. So sometimes the Buddha just bypass the question. Now, about this self also, we can look at the different explanation from the Tipitaka. Now, when we say the idea of view, wrong view, or self and soul is based on this Sakaya Ditti. Okay. Now, the word Sakaya coming from the word Santa. Santa means clear. They believe that this self is a clear idea or something that's solid, right? Now, there are four views mentioned in the suttas about how people see the body and this self or soul. All right. First, they view the body as self. Means they believe the soul and body are the same, like just now, the first question. Okay. Sometimes they view this self or soul having the body. Okay. Sometimes they view the body is between the self or soul with this atani locative. So they view the self or soul is between the body. Okay, so it's a kind of like complicated idea how the relationship between self and soul. All right. So people always ask this kind of question to Buddha. Buddha also never answer because Buddha know these are not true because there are no self in the first place. Okay. Yeah. And what happened when they get to know different idea? You know, so you can see the Pali word as. This as we translate with the to. Okay. So sometimes in the Tipitaka, we have many this kind of to. For example, we say aniccato, dukkhato, anattato. All right. So we translate as anicca, as dukkha, as anatta. Okay, so this is one of the grammatical aspects. Right. So these are four views, relational breakdown. So this will answer same. Why, if people ask the Buddha same thing, the Buddha never answer. Because this question happened above the soul, this one, the soul and body are the same. So the Buddha will reject this kind of question. Why? Because the result will be, okay, they live contending, quarreling, disputing, attacking each other with their sharp tongues, saying, such is Dhamma, such is not Dhamma, such is not Dhamma, such is Dhamma. So they quarrel. Now, the problem is when they are quarreling, they cannot prove that their statement is right, you know. So they just kind of like have some theory, right? Now, okay. Okay, now 13. Yes, somebody read, yes.
Then many monks, having dressed in the morning time, after picking up their bowl and robe, entered Savatthi for alms. After walking for alms in Savatthi, while returning from the alms round after the meal, they went to the gracious one, blessed one, and after going to the worshipping the gracious one, they sat down on one side. While set on one side, those monks said, this is to the gracious one.
Yeah.
Here, Reverend Sir, many and various secretarians, ascetic brahmanas, and wanderers are living in Savatthi, having various views, various likings, various tendencies, subject to dependence on various views, such as.
Okay, no need to read. The rest are quite same. Okay, now we can see those people with having wrong view, they were quarreling to each other. And then when the monk they went for alms round, so when they come back, they report to the Buddha. Now the Buddha we call it Bhagawa. Okay, Bhagawa. Bhagawa we translate as blessed one. Sometimes the word Bhaga means glory, or gracious. So the wa you just not see like antawa. Wa means a process, like agawati is also wa. Wa means process. So means that Buddha is somebody who process gracious, or Buddha is process the blessing. So that's the meaning of Bhagawa. All right. Like Buddha, the word Buddha means somebody who enlightened. That's the meaning of Buddha. So how many meanings of the Buddha? Buddha, Bhagawa, and Tathagata. Tathagata means task gone. All right, 如来. Oh. Okay, now this is a repeat, so we can skip it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, next one. Read, yeah. Wanderer.
Wanderers from other sects, monks are blind, without vision. They do not know what is good. They do not know what is not good. They do not know what is Dhamma. they do not know what is not Dhamma. They, not knowing what is good, not knowing what is not good, not knowing what's Dhamma, and not knowing what is not Dhamma, live contending, quarreling, disputing, attacking each other with sharp tongues, saying, such is Dhamma, such is not Dhamma, such is not Dhamma, such is Dhamma.
Okay. Now, the Buddha say they are blind. Okay. Blind means they cannot see the truth. Now, this Dhamma, the definition of Dhamma, you cannot say they don't know the Buddha's teaching. In a way, you can say like this. But here, another meaning of Dhamma means truth. They don't know the truth. That's why they are blind. No? Because if we are saying about Dhamma, they are not interested in the Buddha's Dhamma, of course. That's why we can use Dhamma have different translation. Can say as a truth also. They don't know the truth. That's why they quarrel with each other. They quarrel with the soul as is the soul same with the body. Is the body and the soul different? Because they don't know the truth. There is no soul in the first place. Okay. And then here is very interesting. I think most people heard about this simile. Next person, yeah.
The simile of king and elephant. Formerly, monks in this Savatthi, there was a certain king. Then that king, monks, addressed a certain man, saying, please go, dear sir, and as many of those congenitally blind as there are in Savatthis, assemble them in one place. Yes, your majesty, said the man. Monks, and after replying to the king, and after taking hold of all those congenitally blind in Samadhi, he went to the king, and after going, he said this to the king. As many of those congenitally blind as there are in Savatthi, your majesty, have assembled. Then show an elephant, I say, to those congenitally blind. Yes, your majesty, said that man. Monks, and after replying to the king, he showed an elephant to those congenitally blind, saying, such is an elephant, blind man. To some of those congenitally blind, he showed the elephant's head, saying, such is an elephant, blind man. To some of those congenitally blind, he showed the elephant's ear, saying, such is an elephant, blind man. Oh, okay. To some of those congenitally blind, he showed the elephant's tusk, saying, such is an elephant, blind man. To some of those congenitally blind, he showed the elephant's trunk, saying, such is an elephant, blind man. To some of those congenitally blind, he showed the elephant's body, saying, such is an elephant, blind man. To some of those congenitally blind, he showed the elephant's leg, saying, such is an elephant, blind man. To some of these, those
Thigh
thigh,
tail.
he showed the elephant's thigh, saying, such is an elephant, blind man. And then he showed the top of the elephant's tail, saying, such is an elephant, blind man. Then he showed the tip of the elephant's tail, saying, such is an elephant, blind man.
Okay.
Then
next person, yeah.
now where are we?
Next person, yeah.
Then monks.
You want to read? Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Then monks, that man having shown the elephant to those continentally blind, went to the king, and after going to, he said this to the king: those congenitally blind have seen the elephant, your majesty. Now is the time for whatever you are thinking, your majesty. Then the king, monks, went to the congenitally blind, and after going, he said this to those congenitally blind: did you see the elephant, blind man? Yes, your majesty, we did see the elephant. Speak, blind man, and say, such is an elephant. Those congenitally blind who had seen the elephant's head, monks said this, such is an elephant, your majesty, he is like a pot. Those congenitally blind who had seen the elephant's ears, monks said this, such is an elephant, your majesty, he is like a winnowing fan. Those congenitally blind who had seen the elephant's tusks, monks said this, such is an elephant, your majesty, he is like a plowshare. Those congenitally blind who had seen the elephant's trunk, monk said this, such is an elephant, your majesty, he is like a plow pole. Those congenitally blind who had seen the elephant's body, monks said this, such is an elephant, your majesty, he is like a storehouse. Those congenitally blind who had seen the elephant's leg, monks said this, such is an elephant, your majesty, he is like a pillar. Those congenitally blind who had seen the elephant's thigh, monks said this, such is an elephant, your majesty, he is like a mortar.
Okay. So from this story, we can see at first we have to think about that. Why the king want to gather so many blind person? Why? Do you know the reason? He just want to have fun. I mean, the king has nothing else to do, right? So he just want to have fun. That's why he think it's very funny. He gathered a lot of blind people and show them the elephant. So when they touch the elephant, because the elephant is very big, right? Consider the largest mammal in the land, right? The largest will be wolf. Right? So because it's very big, so they cannot touch. They just touch little part. And how they feel because they are blind. And people tell them this elephant. So they have touching different part and they ask it, do you see the elephant? They say they say I see the elephant. Of course not using their eyes, it's using their sense. So they ask, so they describe the head as pot, the ear like fan, the truss like plowshare, the trunk like plow pole, body like storehouse, leg like pillar. So they are comparing the elephant with the experience they have. This is why we call it sanya, the perception. What they have acquired the perception. So their head to them is like a pot and so on. So the kind of perception. Okay, now I was using the AI today. It's quite interesting how AI managed to get the photo. Okay, you can see here.
Create the picture.
Use the chat GPT.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, so the head is like pot, very big. The fan, the
Yes,
ear.
fan.
Then the plowshare. Plowshare must be very sharp, to plow. So it's a plowshare. The pole will be big. Then the storeroom is the body, right? Pillar. No, this is exactly pillar. Okay. And then the mortar, mortar and pestle. So yeah, nowadays I see some of the vulnerable using the AI to explain the things, which is actually interesting, if not too much text, right? Okay, now they say, such as an elephant, such as not an elephant, such as not an elephant, such an elephant, hit each other with their fists, and with that the king was pleased. Okay. Now that's the reason why, because the king actually he want to have enjoyment. They are poor and they are blind, so they don't know what is right, what is wrong. So the king just want to see them fight each other, and he had a good laugh. Okay, yeah, continue 31.
Just so, monks, wanderers from other sects are blind, without vision. They do not know what is good, what is not good, and they do not know what is Dhamma. They do not know what is not Dhamma. They, not knowing what is good, not knowing what is not good, not knowing what is Dhamma, not knowing what is not Dhamma, live contending, quarreling, disputing, attacking each other with sharp tongues, saying such is Dhamma, such is not Dhamma, such is not Dhamma, such is Dhamma.
Next one.
Then the
Sorry,
gracious
32. Yeah.
one, having understood the significance of it, on that occasion utter the exalted utterance.
Okay, so we look at the statement first. So this is a key point. First, he compared those wanderers with other sectarians. He said they are blind, without vision, because they cannot see what is right, what is wrong, what is true, what is not true, what is good, not good. They don't know what is the Dhamma. You translate as Dhamma, or you can translate as truth also, right? So because they don't know what is right, what is wrong, so they quarrel with each other all the time, and then they even hit each other, yeah, like politics. Okay, right. So that's the thing. Now, some ascetic and brahmana are attached to their own view. That's the thing. So they grasp it. Then they quarrel. Okay. So they only see one side. Now it's like when they touch the elephant, they only see one side. Okay. So when they only see one thing, they don't see other things. So why people say they don't believe, So that's why when they quarrel, why they quarrel? Because to this man, he say elephant is like a pot. To another blind person, it's like a truck share. So they will quarrel. Okay. I will say I'm pot. I see the elephant is a pot. And this one say I'm truck share and whatever. So they will quarrel based on what they touch, only on little bit only. Right. That's why most people will happen, because they cannot accept the view of others. And at the end, the king was actually was very happy, because they quarrel, they fight with each other, Yeah. So like this, they quarrel and fight with each other. Okay. So I think AI sometimes did a good job, but you have to tell AI a few times to change the picture, right? Okay, so we finish this sutta, and from this sutta, it's a very short sutta, but actually it's interesting. The first part is a little bit difficult, but the first part is actually we know at that time a lot of people are living with many different views, and once they have certain view, they will not accept the view of others. That's why they quarrel. And then even like this, when they quarrel, they cannot explain. If for example they say the world eternal, the world is not eternal, they cannot explain to people why they grasp this view. They just grasp it, unless they have psychic power. But even their psychic power is not true. For example, if they say the world is infinite, because it's only based on the object of meditation or limited, but not all the meditation is. It also depends on how deep is your concentration. For example, they say the world is infinite, but it might not be true. That depends on meditation. Okay, so then also the wrong view of soul. Okay, they cling the idea of soul same with the body, soul and body different thing. So the Buddha will reject this kind of question. Why? Because even the reject the question whether people exist after that or does not exist after that. Because if the Buddha accept the idea the individual exists after that, this means they believe the soul is eternal. And if the Buddha accept the idea the individual does not exist after that, that means that he having the annihilation belief. All right. But these two are wrong. Whether is Sasata Ditti, we call it here Sasata Wada, eternalism belief this soul, I live forever. Even you pass away, next life, you still come back. Okay. And Ucheda this annihilation believe that self or soul sees at death. So these two with the bhava, with the kama tanha, the sensual desire. So these three are second noble truth. Okay. All sort of craving you can fall into these three. All right. Bhava tanha, craving with this eternalism belief. So four noble truth, even though it look very simple, right? So this is we call it sensual craving. So this is a craving becoming, okay? Becoming craving. So this is we call it non-becoming craving. So these three. Okay, so that's a key point for here. Once we understand the key point, we understand that they are talking about either bhava tanha or vibhava tanha, right? And then and once we understand the idea of self and soul does not exist, that's why they can quarrel, but they will not come to any conclusion. Okay, and 4 types of wrong view with the body and self, or self having the body, body is between the self, and soul is within the body. So in Pali, actually, is quite much more easy to understand. Lupam, atato, lupam watam wa atatam, ani, atani wa lupam. The lupa is inside the self. Then the atta is inside the lupa. Okay, like this. Lupa inside the atta. Here is atta inside the lupa. So is it said? Body within the self, soul within the body. All right. So this one. Okay. Okay. Now we finish this sutta. Shall we move to the next one?
So,
Yeah.
what can we learn from it?
Okay. Finally, the idea is people have little bit idea, little bit knowledge only. So they cling to this knowledge. They don't accept the knowledge of others. But even this little knowledge might not be true in the first place if they cling to the idea of self and soul. Okay, because at that time people were, now all this idea, that's the one sutta is very difficult to read. One of the sutta we call it Brahma Vihara. The Digha Nikaya is in this sutta. There are different types of view. The first one is under the, it's not sure here. So under the Brahma Jala Sutta. So there are 62 wrong view. Okay. Yeah, this one, 62 wrong view. So if you look at the Wikimedia, there are, under this, it has the first sutta or the long discourse. The sutta is so long, it has 62 wrong view. Actually, in my university, we study it. The moment we study it, we got headache. It's also like just now, this soul and self, self and soul, or whatever. It's difficult to read or difficult to remember this. 62 wrong view. So you see some of the belief at that time, 18 on the past. You have eternalism belief, right? Partial eternalism belief, also called partial one. And then the finite or infinite. The universe in infinite, the universe is limited, a vertical limited but horizontal infinite. The more you read, go ahead. And then some we call it yield wiggling, amara vikapa. So it's like when people ask it, is it like this? They say, no, it's not like this. Is it like that? They say, no, 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 it's not like that. So they are wriggling around. They don't commit to any viewpoint. So also got this. Then non-causality. They believe that happen just coincidentally. We don't control them. Things just universe and so happen by itself. So they don't have any cause. And there are also 44 belief on the future. 44 on future. Whether the perception exists after death or not. Right. So all this you can see, possess limited and so on. So also annihilation belief, right? And then nibbana. Some they believe that nibbana can attain in the current life, right? Okay. So the Buddha say he know 62 wrong view. So most of the view you can really find in this 62. But finally, it just clinging to either the three of them, the Kama Tanha, Vibhava Tanha, Vibhava Tanha. So we can sum up 62 into these three. Right? 62 you can study by yourself, but you will get headache one. All right. Okay. So we have 15 minutes to go. Any questions? Okay.
In the teachings before the jati.
Oh.
So, is that on the soul? But then some people say we don't believe in soul. So I don't know how. Maybe one day.
So this bhava is craving for becoming. So vibhava is craving for non-becoming. But this becoming is actually craving with this annihilation belief. Okay, so it's different from the dependent origination. Dependent origination, that bhava is becoming. After bhava, there will be jati, jara, marana. Okay, so that is the bhava here. But this bhava is explained with is becoming. Becoming here is referred to sasata, vada, or sasata ditti. So this one. So if we analyze from this sasatiti or annihilation belief is very clear. So belief the bhava tanha is with the idea that this self exists forever. Vibhava tanha is this self or I cease after that. Now, most people will have these two beliefs, definitely. Even we believe after we die. A lot of people will believe after we die, next life, this I will come back again. Most people will have this belief. And some who are, we call it more modern type, they don't believe. They say, after I pass away, this I terminate. So there will be no karma. I no need to work hard for karma. Why? Because after I pass away, I will not enjoy the karma anymore in the next life. So myself, I enjoy as much as possible. So that there are some people are not interested to do merits, right? Because there are no future life, so they are not interested to merits. Okay, so we can do either these two. I think it's any question? If not, we just maybe, I think the next sutta is too long. Maybe we can still look at some of those sutta here. It's okay, we can go a little bit. No, I was preparing a little bit only. So, yeah. Okay. Now, the next sutta is, if I put in my computer, is 50 pages. It's too long. But there are some, about few are quite similar here. Right. So we just read a little bit. Next person just read.
Great. This was said by the Blessed One, said by the Arahant. So I have heard. Abandon one quality, monks, and I guarantee you none return. Which one quality? Abandon greed as the one quality, and I guarantee you none return. This is the meaning of what the Blessed One said. So with regard to this, it was said, the greed with which beings go to a bad destination, coveting from rightly discerning that greed. Those who see clearly letting go, they never come to this world again. This too was the meaning of what was said by the Blessed One, so I have heard.
Okay. Now the second one is also same, hatred, change to aversion only. Then the third one is also same statement, change to delusion. Okay. So you know it's a greed, hatred, delusion. Then the fourth is also quite same, anger, contempt, and then the conceit, right? Then, okay, this is different. Okay, so next person to read, yeah. Understand?
This was said by the Blessed One, said by the Arahant, so I have heard. Monk, one who has not fully known and fully understood the all, whose mind has not been cleansed of passion for it, he has not abandoned it, is incapable of putting an end to suffering. But one who has fully known and fully understood the all, whose mind has been cleansed of passion for it, he has abandoned it, is capable of putting an end to suffering. Knowing the all from all around, not stirred by passion for anything at all, he having completed the all has gone beyond all suffering. This too was the meaning of what was said by the Blessed One, so I have heard.
Okay. So this refer to Arahant. So earlier on refer to the non-return means non-returner, third stage of enlightenment, all right? So only at this point, he say, understand all. When we say putting end of suffering, that's refer to state of Arahant, okay? Yeah, anything, knowing that Four Noble Truth also possible. Okay. Now this one conceit. Okay.
Yeah. This was said by the Blessed One, said by the Arahant. So I have heard. Monk, one who has not fully known and fully understood conceit, whose mind has not been cleansed of it, has not abandoned it, is incapable of putting an end to suffering. But one who has fully known and fully understood conceit, whose mind has been cleansed of it, has abandoned it, is capable of putting an end to suffering. People are possessed by conceit, tied up with a conceit, delighted with becoming, not comprehending conceit, they come to becoming again. But those who, letting go of conceit, are in this destruction, release, conquering the bond of conceit, go beyond all bonds. This too was the beginning of what was said by the Blessed One. So I have heard.
Okay, so this is a lot of sutta. Now, where is this sutta coming from? So, iti uttaka. Okay. Iti uttaka, and just now the one we say, this udana. So, all these are inside the Kuttaka Nikaya. Okay, udana is inspired utterance. So, this is also same. Iti is thus, say is uttaka. So it's like thus I have said, is it thus I have said, or this have I said, or said by the Buddha, who is the Arahant, right? So all these are very small texts. It's a very small, if like Dhammapada. Actually, when we see the Dhammapada, it's only how many verses? Very small text. Like Iti Buddhaka, so we just open it. Consider quite small lah. Compared to other texts will be maybe a little bit small. See, very short. One sutta, finish, you see? Very short, right? Very short. Like just now we read is only very short sutta. Finish already. Okay. Okay. So the Udana also. Udana can be quite long. Okay. So anyway, these are Udana, Iti Uttaka. All these are, of course, nowadays a lot of vulnerable, they translated and put online like just now. But to have the complete set is not, I think, not translated in the modern at the last time they have translated all these by the British people, Iti Vittaka translation. It's possible to get also. By who? Sujata already. And then okay. I think he put a lot. There's 1997. Okay, 1997. So you can get from on internet online. And also by I think 19 century, 20th century also many. Okay, now we still have 5 minutes, so let's come to key point here. So the key point will be greed, hatred, delusion, anger, contempt, conceit, right? And they say when conceit is arahant, all right? Now, where we can find it, we can link with the 10 Sanyojana. In Chinese, I already teach the Chinese class already. Now, 10 Sanyojana, we call it factors. 10 mental chain that bind living beings to the cycles of rebirth and suffering. So they are divided in 4 lower factors and 5 higher factors, which must be overcome to reach full enlightenment. Right? So just now we see the first one like is always on Sakayaditi, belief on the self and soul. Okay, so this is the one. Dikti is view, wrong view. Sakaya is like we see the nama rupa, our mind and body, but we put the mind and body together. They believe that a really solid self made of this mind and body. It's actually a concept. This I is a concept. The real one is mind and body, but they believe this I or soul is permanent, is solid. Okay. Now, the second one is doubts on the Buddha teaching and path. The third one will be attachment to any wrong behavior. So they believe this will lead to freedom. That one, the sensual desire, evil. So that's why if we say about greed, will be about this. Just now the anger, contempt will be on evil, right? Okay, now when we say non-returner, okay, so first stage of enlightenment. So first stage of enlightenment, so eradicate these three, okay, these above three, right? Then the second stage, do you eradicate second stage? No, it not eradicate. You only reduce these two. Okay, but come to the third stage, what happens?
Reduce all the next 5.
No. Reduce all. Reduce it actually so it eradicate these two. So that means that at the anagami stage, non-returner, it will reduce the, because these three are eradicated at the first stage, right? So this at the second stage reduce those gross one. So gross one, okay? Gross sensual design area. So the third one, it will eradicate these two. This means that anagami totally remove 5. Okay? That's why anagami is say not return to the world. Okay, just now we see the sutta, I say non-returner. Okay, they call it non-returner. Why? Because they don't return to the world, never come to this kind of world. What kind of world? What is the world?
The human world, yeah.
Sensual world. Okay, so the third stage, enlightenment, so non-returner because not coming to kama world, kama vachara. Okay, kama vachara means the sensual world. Sensual world means including what? What is sensual world?
World.
Human and 6 Deva plane. Okay, so that's why anagami only born in where? The Sudawasa. Okay, Sudawasa plane. Okay, and anagami, since they eradicate the sensual desire, ill will, so what kind of behavior they will have? They will not cling to anybody. So if reach the anagami, normally they will not have family life anymore. No, will not get married because no more sensual desire. Right? Okay, now first stage eradicate this sakayaditi. So when somebody eradicate the sakayaditi and doubts and this one, as a first stage enlightenment sotapanna, what kind of behavior they will have? Okay, what kind of behavior will they have if they have no sakayaditi? What is the obvious behavior? Huh? Not break precept. Okay? Not ever break 5 precepts. Now, why people break the 5 precepts? Because of this self. I'm hungry, so I steal. My children are hungry, so I steal. You kill my children, so I kill you. Clinging to this self and I. So if somebody already only see mind and body, and also absolute trust in Buddha Dhamma Sangha, they will not ever break the 5 precepts. And if they're reborn in the next life, automatically they will give the 5 precepts without questioning, without any doubts, they will give 5 precepts. All right. So second stage of enlightenment reduce only little bit gross sensual desire evil. Okay, it's not so obvious. But third one is have this one. So third person never coming to this one, enlightenment and not having family life. Okay, this means that they will be ascetic. If like the story of Visakha, he has wife, but after he attained enlightenment, so he let go the wife. So he let the wife, even the wife later become bhikkhuni. So he will become like an ascetic lah.
Anagami.
Okay, and Arahan will eradicate these 5.
Sakadagami.
Okay, so Arahan will eradicate. So Arahan will eradicate these 5. So just now we say the mana, right? Conceit. So at which stage the mana is really, it's only at Arahan. Okay, so just now if we see the sutta, it say that yes, had condemned conceit. All right, yeah. Beside Arahan, beside non-returner, but actually he say here, letting go, they never come to this world again. All right. So actually conceit, if we look at carefully, is only belong to the Arahan. Yeah. Now conceit is what? Okay. Now, even if somebody as a Sotapanna, they still have the conceit. But this conceit is not the fact conceit. The fact conceit will be I'm better than you. But when the first stage of enlightenment, second stage of enlightenment, even the third stage of enlightenment, their conceit is real. My sila is better than you. My morality better than you. So they are having conceit on something that is real. Okay. But it's still the conceit here. Because that's why the commentary, they say, they still have very, very subtle the sense of I. You know. That's why only Arahan, he totally eradicate all this very subtle sense of I. Because Arahan have no conceit. Arahan will also no more last for form or formless. So this will give birth to what? Rebirth in the form jhana. And then the formless jhana, arupa jhana, conceit. So Arahan will never have even restless mind. And Arahan, of course, know avijja. Okay, Arahan will know everything. Okay, so this is just some idea. When I was reading this sutta, I was thinking the explanation is coming from here. No, sometimes when we read a lot of sutta, is if we know some basic, actually it's easy to understand. You know, there are so many sutta. You read one sutta there. So what's the main idea? Okay, main idea will be great hatred delusion and conceit and understand all means arahant and so on. Okay, I think later we see is that something else we can learn. But I think it's quite this sutta is quite short also. I mean very short. Okay. Okay, so I think we next week we continue a little bit here. So let us share Mary's. So one way to practice is when we use the chanting, we take the chanting as part of the meditation. Today I think I see some newcomers. So today we can just chant this Marana. It's contemplation of that we are subject to aging, sickness, and death, and so on, right? So Jara Dhammo Hi Jara Anatito Vyadi Dhammo Hi Vyadi Anatito Marana Dhammo Hi Marana Anatito Sabehi Metiehi Manapehi Nana Bawo Vina Bawo Kama Sakomhi Kama Dayado Kama Yoni Kama Bando Kama Patisaran Yang Kamam Karisami Hayana Wa Papakang Wa Tasa Dayado Parisami Evam Amhehi Abhiham Pachavipitabam. Okay, somebody read the English.
I am of the nature to age. I am not gone beyond aging. I am of the nature to sicken. I am not gone beyond sickness. I am of the nature to die. I am not gone beyond dying. All that is mine, beloved and blessing, will become otherwise, will become separated me. I am the owner of my karma, heir to my karma, one of my karma, related to my karma, a wife supported by my karma. Whatever karma I shall do, for good or for ill, of that I will be the heir.
but we should frequently correct.
Okay, so let's do the sharing of merits. Right? Sharing merits in Pali to all beings and all departed relatives. Imano punya bagam sabha satanam dema. Imano punya bagam
Sabah
satanam dema. Imano punya bagam sabha satanam dema. Idam no nyatina hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam no nyatina hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Idam no nyatina hotu sukita hontu nyatayo. Akasata cha bummata dewana gamahitika punyantam anumotitva chirarakantu buddha sasana. Akasata cha bummata dewana gamahitika punyantam anumotitva Chirarakantu desana akasata cabumata dewana gamahitika punyantam anumotitva chirarakantu mamparanti arurarogya sampati saga sampati mevacha Adonipana sampati iminante kami jatuh Devo vasatu kayena sasa sampati hoja Pito bawatu logocha raja bawatu damiko Expression Adani Maya Patipadaya Jalamaranam Ha Parimuchisami Idam me punya Asawakaya Waham Hotu Idam me punya Nipanasa Pachayo Hotu Idam me sila Magapalaya nasa pacayo hotu. Imina punya kami mami bala samagamo. Satang samagamo hotu. Yava nibbana pastiya. Buddha sasanam ciram titatu. Buddha sasanam ciram titatu. Buddha sasanam ciram titatu. Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.